Not too long ago, I was standing in a notary office in Colombia. If you haven't been to a Colombian notary, imagine a place that's 20% oxygen and 80% bureaucratic despair. I was facing off against a woman I've come to call the Glacier of Antioquia. She was the notary final boss, an ice queen who seemed convinced that if she gave me the final stamp between me and my digital nomad visa, the entire Colombian government would dissolve into apocalyptic chaos. She wanted to send me back to the main immigration office because the immigration officer had not put a date on his signature. The same immigration officer I had to meet with 8 times to get this golden autograph. People think Colombia is dangerous, but the thing that's most likely to get you is the infamous tramite, paperwork. I'd rather have my phone stolen any day than spend another minute in immigration. Not really. I gave the Glacier my best fancy Spanish. Usted this, usted that. I pleaded, I cajoled, I passed the buck. I stopped the buck. I bucked the buck. I even considered whether flirting would melt the Glacier. I thought of a friend who had joked with me about duct taping a briefcase full of money under the table. I didn't do that. Finally, miraculously, she relented. She hit the paper with that little Mr. Potato Head stamp. Wet ink victory. That will be $15, she said. Obviously, she said it in Colombian pesos. And that was the exact second I realized I had forgotten my wallet. I spent the next 15 minutes fast-talking my way out of a legal hostage situation over $15. And then it hit me. This is the part that people don't show you on Instagram. They show you the beach. They show you the coconut drink. The 6-packed Gen Zers still on ayahuasca. Still able to sell organic bathing suits and biodegradable golf balls you launch off the back of a yacht. They show you freedom. They don't show you the friction. We've been told the dream is to become a digital nomad. But halfway through the year, I'm telling you, the digital nomad is dead. If you're a founder, a writer, a content creator, or professional, you don't want to be a nomad. You want to be what I'm calling a global operator. We are witnessing a great bifurcation in how the world moves. On one side, you have the unstructured, the laptop schleppers. They're working from the edge of a pool where the glare is so strong they can't see their spreadsheets. But the IG story looks great. Pretending to be comfortable when everyone knows sand and sitting in a lounge chair produces more cricks in your back than it does ROI. Some are running from taxes, some are running from their home countries, some are running from inflation, some are even running from the law. Living on 90-day tourist clocks and making visa runs like it were a greatest race reality show. On the other side, you have the structured. These are the global operators I speak of. These are what you want to be. They aren't running from anything. They're just there building their own jurisdictional fortress. The difference is one of our AI buzzwords of the year. Wake up, Webster. Agency. A nomad is a passenger in someone else's system. An operator is a pilot of their own. For me, year 1 was about the escape. Moving from LA to the mountains in Colombia. Spending time in the honeymoon phase in a fun city like Medellin. Somehow avoiding trouble. But year 2 began the building, began the architecture, the design, so you don't crumble when a bureaucratic glacier asks you for $15. If you want to move from traveler to operator, you have to pass through 4 specific phases. Here comes the list. Phase 1 is identity. This is the psychological break. It's when you decouple your bank account from your zip code, causing all sorts of other bureaucratic problems, but it's worth it. Whether you're one of these founders, writers, content creators, anyone who has the ability to do this, anyone who has the ability to work remote, phase 1 is just the prerequisite. Most never make it out of this phase. So if you do, you've already won. But it's a temporary win. Great for that story to tell once you get spit out and sent back home. Those who never did it will be jealous. They'll listen to your story once, 10 times, then finally rolling their eyes the second you say, well, when I was in Portugal, one more time. Phase 2 is mobility. This is where most of those passing phase 1 get stuck. They move to Medellin or Lisbon or Mexico City for the lift of geo-arbitrage. They enjoy the cheap coffee and the views. They maybe learn not to go around slinging the word cheap around while they're there. They maybe, or maybe not, wonder if they're part of the problem, if they are contributing or taking advantage. Somewhere between being a vacationer, a tourist, fine, and being someone who realizes society is about contributing, a give and take. But phase 2 has a hidden ceiling. If you stay too long, you're a perpetual guest. You're optimizing for the present, but ignoring the future. You're building on sand, yet again, and angering the locals because you go around posting how cheap everything is. Don't do that. Phase 3 is structure. This is the boring masterclass. This is what I'm documenting right now with my Texas business structure. Why Texas? Because the US is still the premier jurisdiction for business structure and intellectual property. USA is the land of business. What are we good at? That. When do we do it? All the time. What do we risk? Capital. And bypassing paperwork whenever possible. By incorporating my newsletter and my content under a Texas anchor, I'm no longer just a guy with a laptop. I'm a global entity. This is where you deal with the tax compliance, the entity layering, and the boring stuff that ensures you aren't fragile. Trust me, nobody hates it more than me. I'm sure a lot of you hate it equally. You're probably going to need more of a specialist than H&R Block can provide. It's known to cause headaches, confusion in others, and missing out on fun traveler shenanigans. Phase 4 is scale. This is the multi-base dream. It's having the keys to multiple worlds. It goes deeper into philosophy, into neuroplasticity, into learning new languages, into engaging with new, to you, cultures, and having the optionality to pivot your life as fast as you can change a suit. That's the ultimate luxury, the power to choose your atmosphere. It's exciting and electric. They say if a Texan is down to their last $400, they'd rather spend it on a fancy hotel, try to meet someone to raise $1 million, than use it for food. It's the wildcatter's sprint. I don't have to hustle for rent for a little longer, or check into some 5-star hotel to hobnob. This allows me to focus on what I'm calling, till I can think of a less corporate-y word, the equity of identity. When you move to phase 3, you stop trading time for money and start building assets. A Texas LLC is more than just paperwork. It's a vessel for my IP and this channel. If you're a founder or a professional, you need to ask yourself, are you just working remotely, or are you building an infrastructure that has real value? Over the years that I've lived in different countries, this is the difference between those who are happy and those who go home. Structure is what allows for high-ticket brand partnerships, if that's your cup of tea, or just generally high-ticket thinking. It's what allows me to spend 90% of my day on creative direction while my team helps manage the friction. You don't need $1 million to start thinking like an operator, though that would help. But if you didn't feel the pressure, maybe you'd kick back with that coconut drink a few times too many. Pressure sucks, but it will get you out of bed at 5 a.m. Optionality is the best asset in the 21st century. Forget the Rolex, forget the Rolls. If you're reliant on a single visa or a single zip code, you're fragile. If you want true optionality, look into getting dual citizenship. In year 2 of A Texas Nomad, my newsletter, and Edward Effect, this channel, we're going to stop talking about where the coffee is most economical. We're going to talk about how to design a life that is resilient, ethical, and strategically sound. I'm going to do a lot more deep dives breaking down these phases in more detail and how to do them. So if you're ready to stop wandering and start building, hit the subscribe button. Welcome to the era of the global operator. I'll see you next week back at the desk.